Hey everyone, and welcome back to my playlist on our Home to Haven YouTube channel. My name is Jen, and I'm so thrilled that you decided to drop in again today. This channel is all about your Christian marriage, a place where we believe your marriage should thrive and not just survive. This playlist in particular is all about the planning side of your life. So if you're new here, go ahead and subscribe to this channel so that you don't miss a single episode. And let's get started building and planning for that thriving, joyful, and faith-filled marriage. All right, so last week we talked all about getting your marriage off autopilot by starting to dream together again. Now today we're tackling something that I hear so many busy Christian wives say: we just don't have enough time, especially for deep connection, right? We're so busy. Life is typically packed. We usually have a lot of stuff going on. And so we tend to think we don't have the time, or we need to figure out how to make more time, right? But what if I told you really that the number one secret to unlocking deeper connection with your husband is actually not more time? You know, it's so easy to believe the lie that if we just had more hours in the day, if only we had more evenings that were free, then we'd have that deeper connection that really we crave and desire with our husbands. So we blame things like our demanding jobs, kids' schedules. Kids take a lot of time and energy and effort, or all of our volunteer commitments, the household chores, right, that have to get done. Our never-ending to-do lists. We tend to blame those for our marriage feeling a little disconnected. And while all those things are good, all those things are important things, we can't just leave it at that. We may wait for the perfect moment, that special getaway weekend that we book, or really wait for that long, uninterrupted evening that really rarely ever comes. And so we just keep on waiting, and the connection that we long for never quite materializes. And then we end up feeling frustrated, we end up feeling guilty, and we ultimately end up feeling more disconnected, right? But here is the truth. The problem isn't always the lack of time. It's often a lack of intentionality with the time that we do have. So the number one secret busy couples are missing for that deep connection is this: intentionality within their existing time. So it's about being proactive. It's about being purposeful with the small amounts of time that you already have, instead of waiting for a big elusive chunk of time that may not come or might be really hard to get scheduled. So think about it this way. A planned 15-minute sit down, heart-to-heart conversation where both you and your husband are present, you're both engaged, it can be infinitely more connecting than 2 hours that you may spend together on the couch, maybe watching a movie together, where you both may end up kind of scrolling on your phones, right? So that little bit of time that is scheduled with more intentionality is going to be more fruitful in your connection than a longer chunk of time. Now, here's why that thought is a game changer for your connection. Number one is it makes the connection non-negotiable. So when you intentionally schedule small moments, you are prioritizing your marriage. It's a clear signal to both you and your spouse that your relationship matters, right? You're putting it ahead of other things. Number two is it's going to foster presence. So knowing that you have a dedicated time, even though it's going to be short, 10-15 minutes, it helps you both mentally prepare so that you can be fully present, you can put away all those distractions, and you can truly listen to each other, which is going to help that connection. And then number three is it builds momentum, right? So if you start scheduling a few small, consistent moments of intentional connection throughout your weeks, they start to add up. They will start to create a positive rhythm and really deepen your bond over time as you start practicing this. And this is a huge shift in your mindset from finding time, right, to making time specifically for intentional connection. So we're not God. No one besides Him can actually make time, but we can find the time within our current schedules to fit in those connection points. This powerful idea of intentionality is deeply rooted in our pray it, plan it, and pursue it framework, which we incorporate into everything that we teach here. So let's go over that a little bit first. We start with pray it. So before you even think about scheduling these moments or scheduling time to connect with your husband, you really need to pray first. And this is a great first step that a lot of us forget. So we can pray for clarity on how to redeem our time, redeem the time that God has already given you for your marriage. We can ask God to show us, just show me, Lord, where I have those small pockets of opportunity, Lord, and just help guide me in using them well, right? So that's an example, praying for those times of connection before you even start planning it or scheduling it out. And really pray for a desire to be intentional. You might have to start there. If you need to shift your mindset, I need, help with getting my mindset set on a desire to be intentional with my husband because I know how important it really is. And then after you pray, of course, then we move it to the planet stage. And in the planet stage, this is where things actually start to happen. So we're not going to wait for spontaneity all the time. We are actually going to schedule these moments. Even though it might seem silly, these little pockets of time, why do I need to schedule it, right? It's so important. Whether it's just like a 15-minute marriage check-in kind of thing after dinner, whether you want to start scheduling time to pray together, whether it be before bedtime or before you run out the door, or you want to schedule like this is going to be a date night at home type of time once a week, like a couch date or something like that. I want you to put it on your calendar. If it's not planned, if it's not written out, if it's not scheduled, a lot of times it won't happen. And finally, it's the pursue it part. So this is where you're going to commit to those scheduled times. You're actually going to do the things that you plan. So this is where you actually show up for your spouse. You show up for your husband. You show up for yourself and your relationship, right? And you put away the distractions and you are fully present. Right now, we're only committing to 10, 15 minutes. We all have 10, 15 minutes that we can specifically put aside to connect with our husbands. So it does take effort, it takes consistency, but the fruits of deep connection are absolutely going to be worth that pursuit. So this framework actually empowers you to move beyond just wishing for more time, right? And then to actively creating more meaningful moments right now in your life. And as a former teacher, it is now time for our optional homework for the week. As a former teacher, I love to give practical action steps to help you easily put the concepts that I teach into practice. So to move it beyond just the let's thinking about it and dreaming about it to actually putting it into motion. So your task for this week is to plan just one intentional moment that you are going to do for your relationship, for your marriage, for your husband, for yourself for this week. So it does not have to be a big date night. I don't want you to go, that might be a separate video, but I don't want you to go planning a big date night, right? I want you to schedule just a small intentional amount of time. Like I said, it could be the 10 minutes that you want to talk to your husband after the kids are asleep, and we'll say no phones allowed. Or it could be, let's pray together 5 minutes before I run out the door for work. I've noticed our mornings are super crazy and hectic. Let's pray together before we both go about our busy days. And maybe it might be specific questions that you want to ask your husband. Maybe you want to intentionally ask him, at the end of the day, what was the best part of your day? Did you face any challenges? Is there something I can pray for you for? And truly listen when you ask him that question. Let's just start with one, not a whole bunch. And, listen without interruption and let, maybe him have the floor as soon as he gets home and switch back and forth. But I want you to pick one small specific moment, okay? And I want you to schedule it. Yes, I want you to write it down, put it in your planner. I love using my paper planner. If you're a phone kind of girl, put it in your phone calendar. But I want you to schedule it for this week, and I want you to actually show up, right? I want you to show up for yourself, for your husband, for your marriage. But that single intentional step is going to start to help shift your marriage off the autopilot. We talked about that before, and really unlock the deeper connection. And it's a way to start that's not so overwhelming. It's a place to start that doesn't take a lot of time or preparation ahead of time to start putting into motion. Now, if you're looking for easy to implement ideas for connecting, if you kind of say, I need a little bit more help in what those connection habits could be, you know, we do have you covered. We have our 5-minute connection habits for busy couples. And that's just a free guide we have for you. You can download it right now. It's packed with super practical ideas that fit into even the busiest schedules. I'll go ahead and link that in the description below. But again, it's free. You can download it instantly. It's not a huge, overwhelming resource. It's just an easy to read guide to help get you inspired and encourage you to make those connection habits with your husband on a weekly basis. It also has a monthly tracker, which I love, help you actually see visually how often those intentional moments are happening in your marriage. It will help you track those habits into practice, which I love because I love anything and all things trackers, planners, etc. If you're with me, definitely download that today. After you download the Connection Habits Guide and Tracker, if you're looking for something a little bit more that helps you, seamlessly integrate all the things we talk about with the pray it, plan it, and pursue it moments into your daily and weekly life, so am I. And you need to stay tuned because we are actually currently designing something for that. We are currently designing a relationship vision planner, and it is going to be designed to do just that for you and for me. I'm so excited for it. The planner is really designed to give you dedicated spaces to plan, the intentional moments that we talked about, really record your prayers, track your pursuit of building that thriving marriage. So we are currently in the final stages of design. We're super excited. It is set to launch at the very end of 2025. So we are super, super excited about that. If you want to be among the very first to get your hands on it or to kind of see behind the scenes, which you definitely should, you need to join our exclusive waitlist. By joining the waitlist, you'll just get first access to the planner as soon as it drops. So the first access to actually buy it. You will also get a very special low price that we will not be offering to anyone else. And my favorite part, you'll be getting some exclusive behind the scenes sneak peeks at all the different planner features that we have and all the up-to-date details as we go along this fun process of designing and getting it out there and printing it and all of that. So you need to be on this list. The link to join is right in the description, so I'll put that in the description below. I want to see your name there. I want to have some friends join me in anticipation of this planner. It's going to be so good. So I want you to go sign up right now. Now, as a quick note, you may be watching this video at a later date and our planner may have already launched. So if so, simply head over to our website. It's oakhavencompany.com. You can grab your copy there if they're not all sold out yet. And you can head over there either way and you'll get all the most current, up-to-date details on our website, after we launch to our waitlist friends. So I just want to thank you for watching today. I truly believe that by focusing on intentionality within the time that you already have, you will unlock a deeper, more joyful connection with your husband, with your spouse. And if you are up to it, I would love you to drop a comment and let me know what you plan on doing for your one small, intentional, planned out moment for this week. I would love to hear what you guys are starting to implement, or just use that as a way to stay accountable to yourself. Like, hey, I'm going to do this, type it out so we know, and then show up for yourself and your relationship. Stay tuned for our next episode. We will go a little deeper into connection and we will tackle those awkward silences that all relationships experience at some point or the other. Either I'm not sure what to say type of silence, or getting or giving the silent treatment at times. And we'll talk about moving beyond just the small talk talk about some questions that you can ask in your marriage conversations to deepen the connection. So you will not want to miss that. Go ahead and subscribe if you haven't yet so you don't miss when that episode comes out. And I will see you in the next episode.